Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Rumor mill is next. So yeah, we have some things. We have a couple of confirmations to get out of the way, actually, to start off this rumor mill section. First off, we know that the Thunderbolts movie is in fact happening. It was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, and it will be the capstone for Phase 5. So the phase that we haven't started yet. Next is Namor. We have Namor confirmed to be in Wakanda forever, as revealed in the trailer that was released at San Diego Comic-Con. So another confirmation there. And then The Walking Dead, the Rick and Michonne series that was kinda sorta teased by AMC, has now been 100% confirmed. It is going to be happening, and it is going to be happening in 2023, though this does come with a little bit of a caveat because those 3 Rick Grimes movies that we were supposed to be getting are no longer happening, sadly, because, you know, I really love Walking Dead. So that is what we have for confirmations, no refutations, no news sources. We just have a whole bunch of new rumors. So let's get into those. First off, Solo, a sequel story. Apparently, Han Solo is going to be getting another movie, prequel, kind of. Lawrence Kasdan is the source of this rumor. Usually I don't talk about sources because that's kind of not as fun, but this one's pretty significant because he's the writer. So if he's talking about doing a sequel, that kind of lends itself pretty well, though Lawrence Kasdan is not Disney. And so I feel like because of the source, the other sources that are reporting on this, they're only talking about Lawrence and they're not talking about anybody else associated with Disney who's even considering this right now. And the poor box office results from the first movie just does not lend itself to them wanting to do a sequel. So I'm going to put this one at a generous 40% likelihood. Next is Marvel. We have a couple of copyrights that have been leaked. First up is Eternity Saga, and the second is the Timeless Saga. So we are coming to the end as of Phase 6 is going to be the end of the multiverse saga. So after the multiverse, we're going to presumably get either Eternity or Timeless, according to the rumor. This comes from a pretty solid source. This is the same source that leaked the Kang Avengers movie and the Secret Wars movie just before it was announced at Comic-Con. So it comes from the same place, so it's pretty solid. While I know that Eternity Saga and Timeless Saga both happened in the comic books, I feel like this might be them kind of registering copyrights for duplicate things. I don't know that necessarily both of these are going to happen. I think one of them is going to happen and they're just taking their time and deciding which one it is, because neither of them have been officially announced unless I missed something at San Diego Comic-Con, which is entirely possible. So likelihood for this, again, unless I'm eating my foot right now, is about 65%, because it is pretty likely, just I don't know how likely. Next, we're talking about Aragon. Rumors around Aragon. This is being reported by a lot of outlets as being 100% going to happen, and I am here to say that that is not the case. We have another one of these rumors as well at the end of the episode. So this one, though, says that Disney Plus is going to be doing an Eragon series based on the Inheritance Cycle books by Christopher Paolini. Christopher Paolini is also going to be brought in as a co-writer for the series, so that sounds pretty great if this rumor is to be believed. And I have honestly pretty good reason to believe it, because we have some pretty fantastic sources when it comes to this kind of stuff saying that this is going to happen. We just have no official word yet from Disney or honestly from Christopher Paolini, which kind of is also pretty telling because usually he's pretty vocal about projects he's working on, and he hasn't really talked about a whole lot of projects in the more recent months. So kind of makes you think, well, what is he doing if he can't talk about it? Likelihood we're going to be seeing an Aragon series on Disney Plus, 70% 50%. Next, we're talking about Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Apparently a slate was released, an image of a slate was released that has the working title for this movie as Origin. Slates can be faked. That's all I have to say. 50% likely that this is an actual thing because we have no reason to believe one way or the other. The potential for this being some sort of title associated with this project is really cool, but again, no real way to say one way or the other. Our next one has to do with Fantastic Four. We have word. First off, we do know that Feige has said there is not going to be any sort of origin for the first family in their movie proper. So that's why we kind of went where we did with this one. But this rumor says that Ant-Man 3, so Quantumania, is going to be our introduction to the first family of comic books, the Fantastic Four. That's in line with other rumors we've heard previously. And also kind of in line with what Feige said about no history, no origin for the family in the movie. So 80% likely that this is going to be, I don't think they're going to factor in majorly to the plot, though they might. I think it's going to be kind of a post-credit stinger situation, maybe even some sort of cameo in the proper movie, but by and large, I think it's going to just be set up and then we'll get the actual story of them in the movie that comes out. And then we're moving over to Community. The series is getting apparently a movie to kind of finish it off, which a lot of fans have been asking for, and apparently now they're going to be getting it. Alison Brie is, again, the source for this. Again, it's pretty noteworthy that somebody so closely associated with the original project is talking about a movie to bring that story to an end, if you will. So likelihood here, we're going with about 70%. There are a number of other sources associated with this, not just Alison Brie. Then we come to the big one, Batgirl. This is another one of those, everyone is reporting it as fact, though we don't have any sort of official announcement. Reportedly, so rumor, is that Batgirl has been officially canceled. At first it was indefinitely shelved, and now they're changing their vocabulary to canceled. It is not going to see the light of day. In spite of being completed with filming, they just aren't going to finish the edits and the post-production, apparently. This is, according to the rumor, due to, there's a quote here, irredeemable test screenings, and that doesn't come from any sort of questionable Comicsgate-related sources either. This is a major source saying that the DC property, the Warner Brothers screenings for Batgirl were, quote, irredeemably bad, unquote. So, wow. This also comes, there's a little bit tacked on to the end of this because we know that they said that the budget for the movie was approximately $70 million. Well, apparently that budget was a little bit closer to $100 million. And so they're just writing this off. Oh, this, I mean, because of the wealth of sources and because of the quality of sources, there's no reason to not believe that this will come out to be factual soon. But as it stands right now, as of this recording today, it is still just a rumor. So likelihood that this will come to light, I'm saying 85% likely that this is the case. Next, we have another similar and slightly related rumor is Green Lantern. Green Lantern has been apparently canceled for the HBO Max series. And then there's another rumor that came out shortly after this saying that, in fact, it's been canceled for some time. They just haven't made the announcement because they're letting J.J. Abrams kind of save face somehow. But that kind of touches on what we talked about previously in that J.J. Abrams is signing new contracts with new studios to do other projects that would be getting in the way if he were still working on Green Lantern. So if that's the case, then this lines up perfectly. Likelihood, though, this one only comes from a couple of very minor sources, pretty weak sources. We're saying about 60% likely, because they're still not doing anything else with Green Lantern, and they made the announcement last year at Comic-Con that Green Lantern was still coming. So because the official word it flies in the face of the rumor, that's kind of what's killing the rumor for us right now. And then we're talking about Boba Fett. I told you this was going to be a huge episode, so thank you very much, nerds, for sticking around. But Boba Fett Season 2 is apparently happening and also potentially coming soon. A Spanish language outlet has listed Season 1 currently available, Season 2 coming soon. For Boba Fett, which is the first we've heard of this, because Boba Fett was kind of lukewarm in its reception with the community, and really the best reception it got were the episodes that featured Mandalorian. So I don't know, it seems like a strange gamble. Because we do have a snapshot of the actual source that is floating around on the internets, that's the only thing that's really saving this, because there's a lot that says this is not going to be happening, but then we see, you know, the physical evidence that it might be. So we're going to put this at 50% because it's kind of hard to say definitively on either side of this rumor. We have a lot more to talk about, nerds, but I don't have any more time, so you're gonna have to go check out the older episodes. Go check out anything. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.